good evening, good afternoon, good day, everyone. I'm back, but with a cold this time, so if my voice sounds a little bit funny, we'll see what it sounds like when I edit it, but if my voice does sound funny, I've just come off of a cold, so yeah, that's happening. Also, to add with the double news, my computer is slowly dying. I mean, I figure it just should explain it right now to the audience in case people are wondering what's going on. So I kind of need to change what my focus is at the moment until I get my new computer. So I'm going to see if I can still record and edit a video and put it on my YouTube channel without everything dying. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if my computer crashes halfway through and doesn't work, or if I'm editing and I load up Premiere and my computer decides to Alt F4 boot screen death. It's a video card problem. I need to get a new one, or I need to buy a completely new machine. This isn't the good time to get it, and it's a talk for another time. Bad timing. It's a tough beginning of February for me. But with that being said, let's get into the actual game that we're looking at today. We're looking at a game called In Between Games. This game popped up in my Steam curator list that developers are able to send Steam curators games that they would like the Steam curator to check out and cover. And so this one was sent to me. And the one that really caught my eye is the developer, who is, I don't think that the developer would want me to reveal too much personal information that was given, but the person that made this game is very young. And I was just like, really? You're that young? Like, we're talking like high school age. And it's not an RPG Maker game? I'd be glad to check it out. So checked it out, played through it. It's a very short game. It is maybe 30 to 45 minutes long. The developer is calling him or herself Alexandress. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. The game was released January 26, 2018. That's kind of irrelevant because of the theme and the way that the game is set up. It's got some flaws to it, but I mean, it's the person's first game, and, you know, I kind of just shrug it off. There's clearly a lot of effort that's been put into it, because if you bring up, like, the credits here, you can see that they got a lot of people to work together to make this game. So, yeah, that's pretty cool, being able to do that. Also, they do have controller support. I didn't do anything with this because I'm a purist when it comes to keyboard controls. If I can play my game with a keyboard, I will. So let's talk about In Between Games. So the story is very simple. Alex, this guy here, likes playing video games, and one fateful night he gets zapped by electricity and gets sucked into his game. There you go, that's your story. It's a 2D platformer. What do you want? There's not much else to say about the story. They at least gave something. So you have here 3 different sets of levels, which are very well indicated here by red, blue, and darker blue. So each one is a very iconic platformer character. So the first set of levels, these are going to be Mario themed. The second set of levels, they're going to be Megaman themed. And the final set of levels are going to be Sonic the Hedgehog themed. Now the developer did ask for a bit of critique, and I will provide that as well. So after I've gone through what I think that somebody who might want to play the game might have an interest in looking at, I'm also going to try to do a little bit of critique, talking about some changes and tweaks here and there that hopefully will come across in the right way. Like said, I'm just impressed. I've done enough on my own to try to figure out how to make games, because it was an area that I wanted to go into, that I definitely appreciate anyone that's going in this route. And like said, first game, pretty good for your first game. I feel like you must have done something else in the meantime. So let's start with 1. You get the whole story. I told you, electricity sucked into the game because that's how it works. And then here you go, World 1-1. You move around with the arrow keys. You jump with up. So the first thing that I kind of notice about the game is that the controls kind of feel a little bit floaty, which I use to the advantage. So you can like tap up to jump up really quick, or you can tap and hold it to jump its maximum height. And so that's how you do it. And the mechanics are the same from what you would expect from a Mario game. 1, you get a mushroom, which gives you a free hit. It's so somebody can hit you, and then if you pick up another mushroom, you get firepower, and then you get to spam the heck out of your firepower button to shoot all the enemies that you're going towards. I didn't actually give it enough time to watch the time run out, but just know. So here we go. Now I get the fire one. I fire with my spacebar, so I just jump up and ta-da. It's World 1-1. At this point, nobody should really be surprised. It's In Between Games is very much like an homage to like really classic platformers, which if nothing else, you have to give the developer credit for having a good taste in classic NES games. So here we go, flag, good stuff, and then just kidding, we still have control, so that means that I don't need to go into this spot. So of course the first thing I did was jump over it, walk all the way here and go, what are you gonna do now? Nothing. There's nothing that you can do. You have to go in it anyway, which is just like cool effects. I don't know anything about the engine or the effort that needs to go into it, and then you would unlock the next one. So that is one thing that's a little bit frustrating, is that you have to beat every single level. You can't go out of order, so you can't skip anything, so you do have to beat all of them. And there are a few points that the game kind of provided a hiccup for me, but if you run out of lives, don't worry, there aren't too many consequences. It's a very doable game, I think, regardless of your casual tendencies towards platformers. I don't consider myself being particularly good at platformers, and yet I fared pretty well in this game, and I beat it within the 30-minute to 45-minute time frame, and I even got enough time to go back and get all the achievements and figured out a couple weaknesses to help me get the achievements a little bit faster. But like I said, I'll add that to the critique at the end for anyone who might be interested. So you've seen what 1 looks like, and it's very similar and simple in terms of like being Mario on the NES, except for that the controls are a little bit floaty, and like the whole momentum thing is a little bit different, and you know, it's just like, it's like playing Mario in a different one. The next one, Megaman. This is one of the... I had a lot of trouble with these levels, with the platforming on some of them. So again, you see that the developer really got familiar with a lot of like the intro animation, dropping down there. This one, you can just spam the heck out of your spacebar, which is exactly what I did. I think this is the level that gave me the most trouble. You can take multiple hits. Here it is. So if you get stuck on this one, which I was stuck on this one, I continually fell down the pit because I wasn't able to figure out how to get down. Atratzu is going to give you the trick to get through. Stand as close to this edge as possible so that when it flips down, you get to do that. Same thing here. Stand right on this edge. Well, that's not timed right, is it? So now you get to see what happens when you die. Let's try that again. Okay, spamming. You also don't have the charge shot. Kind of a little bit of a bummer, but hey, you get to spam way more shots than you could ever want. Alright. So we'll stand right over here. Whoop, that was a close one. Crap, 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 crap. This was the level that gave me trouble. So there you go. You get the game over. Well, what did we get? We go back here and we still have all our progress, so you didn't really lose anything. I want to at least show how to get past this one section. Again, I'm not particularly good at platformers, so go ahead and judge me if you want to judge me. And then again, you just kind of feel like you move in low gravity. And that might just be something with the engine, and the choice was either making the game too fast and hard to follow, or making it slow and floaty. Given the choice, I would take slow and floaty. Crap. 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 Everyone's judging me. I could, of course, edit stuff out and be like, no, I did it on my first try. But I don't have anything to prove. What am I trying to prove? That I'm good at video games? Psh, nah. Nah. I don't need to be good at video games. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have jumped. There we go. Here. Okay, good, good. There we go. So somehow I got it out of sync. Ta-da! So then you just go through the rest of it. And the rest of it's pretty straightforward, actually. And the rest of the levels aren't that bad. The bosses, again, I kind of figured out a little bit of ways to cheese my way through the bosses. we'll talk about that. Here's something that I kind of was frustrated about. There are a few leaps of faith in the game, but there aren't very many death traps that are gonna get you. That's an example of health that is dropped out of the Megaman ones. There's the notorious spikes. I suffered from Megaman PTSD when I watched that. See, and now we drop down. It's like, okay, I don't know what else is expected from me. What's coming down here? Okay, I guess we'll drop down here. I could have fallen into spikes there, I guess. Oh, we got an extra life. Whoop. Drop down here. Oh, one of these guys. They look like, this looks like an enemy off of Commander Keen than it does off of Megaman. Yeah, I'm just gonna show you how to cheese this fight. This is what you do. You stand back here. Uh-oh. That's fine. And you just spam the spacebar. If you can hear my spacebar, don't mind me. This is just a keyboard. It can handle the abuse. I was very good at the quick time action moments. That's not exactly true. Oh, did I lose? I lost. Well, at least you get to see where you start. We'll give that another shot then. This time with full health. So I guess you can't cheese it just by standing in one place and shooting. That's what I did last time. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I've got nothing left to say about this. Just here we go. Get out of here. Alright. Alright, I'll play it smart this time. Try me again. What happened? Oh, I bet it's this stunt where I need to, like, jump when he dumps. Yup, that's what it is. We'll just run right through him like so. I didn't even figure that mechanic out. Ta-da! There you go! First boss done. Got that one, and then you get a power-up. Sort of. The shots are different in each level, so it's implied that you got the power-up. So you've seen the first level of Mario, you've seen the first level of Mega Man, and now we'll see the first level of Sonic. Now, in order of difficulty, and that's kind of the part of the critique that I have, I think that the Mario was the right one to start with. Mega Man was probably the hardest one to do, and this one was second toughest. So fell right in between here. Which, again, very reminiscent of Green Hill Zone. Makes you wonder how this kid is doing that. There is something really odd about the momentum in this part of the game. So if you're running slowly, you can't make your way around the loop here. So you have to get it to the point that your character, Alex, is running. So you can see that. You go like that. And again, you see there's no loss of momentum when you get hit, which is also kind of... It's a bit of game theory, which I don't blame him. I don't blame the developer for not really knowing the game theory behind the spikes, because the whole idea is that you're running along as fast as you can, and that's what's fun in Sonic levels, and then you get hit and it slows you down, so it takes away the fun. So you're being punished for not playing correctly, I guess. Again. There we go again. Checkpoints. Again, it's just really cool that the developer sat down and decided to make a game that's basically a tribute to, I assume, his or her favorite original games. And then, of course, you have the final level, which I'm not going to show. Final level is basically the story one of getting out of the game. So, there you have it. That is In Between Games. I really can't show much more than that, otherwise, like I said, I've already shown what the first few levels are, and that's taken away from an already short game, so by all means, definitely do check it out if you feel so inclined. The big thing for me on my end is recommending or not recommending. I think, as far as from what I got out of the game, I enjoyed it. It's going to be up to you as a viewer to decide whether you find the price that it's set at to be fair or not, which is at $1.99. I'm not going to be the judge of that. $1.99 anyway, or your regional equivalent. You can figure that out for yourself. I personally enjoyed it, and thank you, Alexandress, for sending me a copy of your game, and definitely the return is that I'm offering this as publicity, so if you find it interesting and you feel like trying something in between while you're playing games, in between games is a good hit, a good choice, because that's basically what's going on over here. I'm in between games. I'm in between computers. Anyway, thank you for watching. My name is Atratzu. As always, see you next time, and stay tuned. And haven't figured out a catchphrase yet. Maybe that's what I'll do this year.